Hello, everybody. Welcome to Inside the Bubble, Minnesota High School Hockey's premier highlight show right here on Kare 11 Plus. I'm Pete Wagner, sitting in for Matt Harrington and Brandon Spratt. We will have an action-packed show here for you tonight as we are looking forward to plenty of highlights from the boys and girls side of things. We'll have some in-studio guests for you as well. They will be featured on the St. Cloud State University Player Spotlight segment, and then we will be checking in with the Golden Boys themselves, Matt Harrington and Brandon Spratt, who are standing by in Warroad after calling what was a terrific 3-1 win, the Warriors over the Hermantown Hawks. You saw that right here on Kare 11 Plus and the Kare 11 streaming apps. That was a terrific game, huge audience for that, and we are grateful for each and every one of you for checking in on those. Let's get into it. Plenty of highlights. We're going to go to the boys as we go out to the Chanhassen-Orono game from the Victoria Rec Center. We open up with a Metro West Conference battle. Lots of wins and very few losses between these two top teams. A big hit there. That forces the turnover. And here come the Chanhassen Storm back the other way. Tyler Smith holds, snaps, bar down. It's 1-0, 3:14 into the first period. We still roll along on the power play. Things get really messy in front of Brock Payton here. That one off the post. Payton gets rolled. Mask comes off. Whistle blows. A very physical affair between these two teams as they were well matched indeed. The Storm will go up 2-0 on this goal. Another muddy goal down around Payton. Makes a couple of big saves. Jack Chris buries Eulenkamp and Caden Lee on the assist, 2-0. The Orono Spartans will not go away, though, as they're going to fight and battle here. Nice forecheck off the end wall. Look at that nifty move. The backhand off one leg, and the goal buried. Brooks Feggers on the goal at 12:08. Bradley Walker on the assist as it's 2-1. This one will end with an empty netter by Risch as Chanhassen goes on to win 3-1. Now we move on to the Richfield Ice Arena, Southwest Christian Richfield and the Hutchinson Tigers. Cade Feltman scores an even strength goal at 12:59 to give the Stars the 1-0 lead. They will continue their roll on the goals. Walking to the slot and burying there is Caleb Swenson on that power play from Owen Zick at 4:15. It's now 2-0 Stars. Cody Thomas continues the goal-scoring barrage here for Southwest Christian Richfield as they go up 3-0. Johnny Davis, Owen Zick on the helpers. The Tigers, though, a character squad indeed. They're not going to go away as they start to bite, scratch, kick, and claw on this one as they will come up to put their first one in. Manny Pierce will score here from a shallow angle as he now makes it 3-1. Carson Niska on the power play. We'll watch as we pick it up from the left side to the back door. It was left open, and there's Niska to make it 3-2. Elliot Ladwig on the feed through the slot. On into the third period. Now it's going to be Ladwig in a foot race. He's going to race up by his nice little positional battle to the forehand, and he scores. Look at that. We're tied at 3. Southwest Christian Richfield, though, good character club that they are, led by Coach Paul Ranheim, will respond. Look at this. Caden Feltman is on the back door, and he buries that one for what would be an end wall carom to him and a 4-3 lead. Hutchinson, though, will score late. Look at this turnaround attempt in the third period. 50 seconds to go, and it's now tied up at 4 on that goal. Now we move on into the overtime period. A muddy goal, and Emmett Ryder from Manny Pierce gives the Tigers the 5-4 win as they come up huge in the big comeback. James Camp had 44 saves for the Stars. Hutchinson 2 for 7 on the power play. Now how about this one? To Aldrich Arena, White Bear Lake and the Raptors of Eastridge. It'll be White Bear Lake. How about this? Oh, what a nifty feed off the backhand as the Bears take the 1-0 lead. Aiden Welch from Nolan Road on that nice feed. They'll go up now 2-0. Brady Borgstad with the goal off the rebound, and that's first a big save. Sorry about that. That came in from Jack Hodgins. He was absolutely sterling. And there's the backhand goal. That's nailed by Brady Borgstad. An even strike there from Michael Delaney and Charlie Olson. And on to the third period, White Bear Lake will score again. It's Borgstad. Oh, he lasers one from up high at 11-12 of the second. Gallatin and Olsen on the assists in that one. How about this for a line score? Jack Hodgins, 43 saves. Let's head over to the friendly confines of the Eden Prairie Community Center. The Fire of Holy Family looking for their first club victory in history against the Eagles. That might not happen. Tate block from John Kleiss right off the draw as he buries that one for the 1-0 lead. Eagles are on the move. Teddy Townsend, watch this. Full-fledged NASCAR blown tire. Here comes Townsend, buries for the 2-0 lead at 6:13 of the first. Eagles are feeling good, but hold on. Here come the Fire. Later on in the period, you'll watch a little turnover here. Nice little dangle, fast down low. Oh, that goes in off Dylan Bornwald's stick. It's now 2-1 goal credited to Parker Osborne. Holden Pager and Drew Roloffs on the assist. Into the second period we go. Pager will score this one from Osborne. Look at that nifty little move. Oh, he goes individual, and Pager evens it up at 2. Here comes the backbreaker at 14:59. Face-offs for you young kids at home, so important. 50-50 puck, and there's one that's blasted through by Roloffs. Osborne and Pager, you get the theme, in on that goal as once again they take the victory at 3-2, and there's a huge opportunity late in the game, but that's to no avail as the Eagles will fall to the Fire. Holy Family Catholic, big Section 2AA implications there. That's 2 straight losses now for the Eden Prairie Eagles. We head to the Braemar Arena, legendary matchup. Hornets and the St. Thomas Academy Cadets. We'll watch the Hornets go to work here. Mason West, the goal. Oh, wow, the Hornets were buzzing. Pardon the pun, it was intended. It's 1-0 early on in the first. Later on, there's a shot that's blocked that comes through. But it'll be Cowan with the goal as he puts the Hornets up by a score of 2-0. Lucas Cole and Barrett Dexheimer on the assists. Now we'll bring it back the other way. There's a quick wrist shot, a rebound, and they score. It's Max Camden from Patch Cronin, and it's now 2-1. Hornets will go to work once again down low in the second period. Oh, look at the touch on the backhand there. That was a beautiful Ryan Flaherty effort from John Halverson. You can't teach mitts like that, folks. That's impressive. The Hornets now up 3-1. Will make it 4-1. Grant Olson just buzzes outside on the off wing, and he buries for the 4-1 lead. That'll be the difference. Robbie Klarkowski with 30 saves. Edina with 10 different players picking up points in that game. And on to the big one. We go to the Gardens in Warroad. Look at that. No losses between these two teams, and they were getting it on. Hermantown feeling good. No bus legs for them as Wyatt Carlson scores on the power play. Coppinen and George Peterson in on the assist. 2:16 early on. Hermantown leads 1-0. We move on into the second period. Murray Marvin Cordes with the even strength goal. Ryan Lund and Carson Pilgrim in on the assist. Lund is just a beast back there on the blue line for his Warriors. Then look at this one. You've got Dallas View feeding Swenson for the breakaway, the hammer. Oh, glove save and a beauty. Hampton Slukinski absolutely on fire. Among the best we've seen in high school hockey. Backhand feed, oh, that's beautiful. As that's Jason Shuggaby with an even strike third to make it 2-1. The Warroad Warriors, that'll stand up as the game winner, but why not? Garrett Henham wires that one from the right circle to give his club the insurance policy late in the third period for the 3-1 lead. They will go on to win, and they are now going to be 14-0 on the season. And folks, this will mark the first regular season Class A loss for the Hermantown Hawks. They only lose to AA teams, and, you know, good reason to sally there if you're the Warroad Warriors. Thanks to them and all of the folks that took great care of our team and crew up in Warroad, Minnesota. We will certainly be back. And speaking of being back, we'll be back with girls highlights right after this.
Behind every world-class athlete, there's a team who takes extra care to support them. At Affinity Plus, we take extra care with all your banking goals, from checking accounts to credit cards. Our biggest victory? Helping you win in the ways that matter most. Affinity Plus.
Your college experience begins with your dream. Your time at St. Cloud State will uniquely be your own, but your journey will be guided by our community. Be you. Be bold. Be a Husky.
What if there was a place where everything was hockey?
Finding the skate. Here comes Steves in on goal, all alone.
In Minnesota, there is.
Scores! Welcome back to Inside the Bubble, Minnesota High School Hockey's premier highlight show right here on Kare 11 Plus. Moments ago, we saw some great highlights from the high school boys week, and what a week it was. We have more of the same coming for you now. We're going to turn our attentions to the girls' end of things, and of course, when we go to the Northwest Suburban Conference, it's always going to be a good one when it features the Andover Huskies and the Maple Grove Crimson. Let's take a look as we go to the Andover Arena. 12-2-0 versus 13-2-0. Couple of top 10 teams there. Getting things started will be Amelia McQuay. They go off the end wall. She toes the line and puts that one home. Maya Engler on the assist. Maple Grove's Stella Retram will score a snipe there as it's now tied at 1. That was just about 2 minutes later there. We move on into the second period. Ella Boerger, there she is following that through. She'll be a guest coming up on our show. Courtney Little and Issa Gettle in on the assists. Maya Engler back in on the score sheet once again as she tucks that one home to make it 3-1 in favor of Andover. But Maple Grove isn't done in the third period. Ella Olson buries that one from Bella Shipley. Your final score, 3-2. Shipley with a pair of assists, her 23rd and 24th. On to Moorhead we go. It is the Spuds, ranked number 9 in the AA, taking on the Cardinals of Alexandria. Annika Strami will wire that one in from the blue line, and that's a 1-0 lead. Moorhead at 5:27. Alexandria ties it up, though. It's going to be Ella Westland with it. There it is, low slot, takes the feed from Lord Maris, and we're tied at 1. Into the second at 2:02. It'll be the Spuds. There's a shot from far out. Bar down goes Bria Holm. Bria Holm will be the theme here as she'll pick up her second goal. Look at that. Rebound. Don't quit on the pucks for you young kids at home. Stick on the ice. She buries it for the 3-1 Spuds lead. Now it's going to be Ella Holm, and she'll take that and chip it into the back of the net. At 10:36, Spuds are now winners of 4 straight. Moorhead had 5 players with 2 points, and Westland with the lone goal. And on to Braemar Arena we go. Edina and Eden Prairie. I always love this late conference matchup. It's lots of fun. Throw the records out. They always play each other tight. The Hornets in transition. It'll be Horton across the line, finds the trailer, and the snipe, the save, and the rebound. Go to the net, stick on the ice. Hannah Halverson does the job. Hornets take the lead 1-0. Lorelai Nelson and Whitney Horton in on the assist there. But how about Tegan Nelson in goal? Watch the save she makes off the one-timer. Nice pad save. She was huge with 27 saves in this game for the Eden Prairie Eagles. We'll bring it back for one more big save for her. Nice board battle win by the Hornets. Load, shoot, blocker pad, turned aside, up and out of play as she keeps it a 1-0 game. But the Hornets will keep buzzing. They stay with it. Horton grabs his puck off the wall. She finds McConnell down low. Oh, look at the quick hands by Lorelai Nelson. Gives the Hornets the 2-1 lead, or 2-0 lead, 15:35 into the second period. On to the third period we will go. And the theme once again will be Lorelai Nelson and Whitney Horton. This time we work it up to McConnell. She'll let the slapper go. Her second assist of the game as that's Whitney Horton on the tally at 5:05. Even strength for Hornets as they lead by a score of 3-0. Moving along back the other way, we'll see a big save here by Uma Cornier, flares the glove. Can't forget about one of the state's best goaltenders. And now watch this blooper. Taylor Gardner, oh my word, on her way out of the bench from finishing her punishment of a penalty, gets punished even more with the clearing attempt. She'll be okay as she was smoked by that errant clearing attempt. The Hornets provided our blooper of the week. Absolutely. Swanson with 27 saves. Nelson and Horton each with a goal and assist. On we go to the New Hope Ice Arena. It's the Wings of Armstrong, Cooper, and the St. Louis Hopkins Park edition, as it's a 1-0 goal there by Lydia College, and even strength from Rudy Minogue and Abby Hansen. College will score again down low as she gives her club the 2-0 lead. That's Abby Hansen and Claire Hansen on the assist there. Into the second period we'll go. It is Robbinsdale Armstrong Cooper's Kara Cook. This one on the power play, holds, shoots, and scores as she puts her club up 3-0. Now at the score, 5-0 into the third period we go. Rowan Jansen will score for Hopkins Park as they go ahead and fall by a score of 5-1 to the Robbinsdale Armstrong Cooper Wings. They'll have a Noka on Monday night for Hopkins Park. On we go to the Apple Valley Sports Center. No scoring until the third period in a tight one here between Dodge County and Eastview. There's a quick chance and a shot by Bryn Sprider. An even strength goal. Abby Simmons and Norrin Karstensen on the assist. Then Maisie Cook scores the even strength goal from Nora Karstensen to give their squad the 2-0 hard-fought win against the Lightning of Eastview. The Wildcats winners of 3 of their last 4 games. Be sure to check out the Wildcats on the MN Hockey TV network as we are now live from the Casson Arena. How about this one from the Minnetonka Edina Lore from Pagel Activity Center? It's no scoring in the first, on to the second we go. Horton, oh, look at that redirect, the stick on the ice. Hannah Halverson and Horton devastating there. It's 1-0 Edina. Into the third period we go. Lorelei Nelson on the partial breakaway. Oh, quick hands, forehand, backhand to the forehand again. Horton in on the assist there. That's 39 seconds into the third period. And then Ellie Chapman with a breakaway. I'm sorry, turns a 2-on-1. She takes that from Idrogo Lamb. And the Hornets pick up the 3-0 win. Keep in mind, they took advantage of 5 skippers missing from the lineup at World Juniors. And that they did. Horton has a goal and an assist. And the 13-game winning streak from the Minnetonka Skippers was snapped.
They say good things come to those who wait. But greatness, that's a different beast. It doesn't come when it's called. It won't wander up to those who do nothing. You have to bait it with the sweat you leave on the ice. You gotta push through the pain. Smile through every ache. And suffer every shift. You gotta chase it. All in the name of the game you love. Because greatness comes to those who take it.
Behind every world-class athlete, there's a team who takes extra care to support them. At Affinity Plus, we take extra care with all your banking goals, from checking accounts to credit cards. Our biggest victory? Helping you win in the ways that matter most. Affinity Plus.
And welcome back to Inside the Bubble. It's time now for the SCSU Player Spotlight. We have two on today's program, not only two players, but two segments. We've got one from girls hockey and one from boys hockey. We're really excited about what we're going to bring for you today. We have a couple of Andover Huskies with us. We have Ella Boerger and Madison Brown who have joined us, who are gracious enough on what's kind of a hockey off day. I know you guys have to shoot later on today and work on that part of your game as well, but I know you took the time to come here to join us, and we're going to talk about Sophie's squad. Sophie's squad, we're going to talk about that you're a part of. So first of all, hello to you, Ella.
Hi, thank you for having us.
Our pleasure. Hello, Madison.
Hi.
So let's get into this. Sophie's squad is something that's pretty close to you, as you obviously grew up in Sartell and were aware of what occurred. And obviously, it's a mental health awareness project that you've gotten engaged with. Can you tell us a little bit about it?
Yeah, I know our team has been wanting to do this for a while, and a couple of us have known Sophie personally, so it really meant a lot to us to do it. And I think the parents and the community did a really good job of making it happen. And I think we raised a lot of money and raised a lot of awareness of mental health.
So Madison, you were saying, your event on the 7th, which was a week ago, was really successful. You're giving me some numbers and some things that occurred. Why don't you share with us a little bit more about that?
Yeah, we raised over $1,000, and I think it was really important because we just bring a lot of mental awareness to the community and to all athletes and everyone that needs help.
So from your perspective, Ella, obviously having grown up with Sophie in the Sartell area, this is close to you though, right? So obviously these are people that you would see. You might have seen them around town or at the rink or whatever it may be. And so to be able to be engaged with this your senior year, can you talk a little bit about what that means to you?
Yeah, like I said, it really meant a lot to a lot of us on the team. And I just remember seeing Sophie around the rink a lot, and I played a couple times with her older sister. My older brother played with her older brother. So, I mean, when I heard we were doing it, I was really excited, and it seriously meant a lot to me and a lot to us.
Well, and to fill in our viewers, Sophie Weiland took her own life in the summer of 2021 at the age of 14, and the nonprofit now known as Sophie Squad was developed and was founded later that year with a mission to improve mental health for athletes from youth to college by raising awareness of mental health issues and removing the stigma associated with seeking help. And I think the one thing that when you play on a team, you've got an immediate support structure, right? I mean, you're sisters. You almost live together daily. Can you talk about the importance of listening to each other and also not being afraid to speak?
Yeah, I think it's really important that if you need help, it's okay to get help. And playing on a team, obviously, you're best friends with all your teammates. So having that support system makes it easier, but it's not always easy to go to your friends and tell them that you need help. So I think raising awareness and making people know that it's okay to ask for help makes it a lot easier.
When you look at these two athletes before us here on Inside the Bubble, Ella impressive in the classroom with a 3.87 GPA. I'm sorry, 3.97. I want to see if you'd flinch, and you didn't. 3.97 GPA. Madison with a 4.09. National Honor Societies for these two, and plenty of other things that are engaged. Obviously off the ice, Ella's with the Junior Huskies Girls Youth Hockey, Feed My Starving Children, St. Patrick's Church Festival fundraiser. Meanwhile, Madison, for you, off the ice, you're with the Huskies Girls Youth Program too, the Hendrickson Foundation's National Hockey Festival, which is always so much fun. And then, of course, you volunteer at the local soup kitchen. Can you guys dive in a little bit on the youth hockey side of things? You look at the health of Andover girls hockey. It's so vibrant and so good. How cool is it for the two of you? We'll start with you, Ella, to be able to reach these young players. And, they look up to you as almost pros.
Yeah, I mean, us as a team, we get really excited to do stuff with the little girls. I mean, we have a shooting club where if the girls reach a certain amount, then we get to watch a movie in the locker room together. And we also shoot together sometimes. We'll like draw names and we'll shoot. And we also have Junior Huskies, which is every Sunday. And like 6 of us, sometimes even more, skate with the Junior Huskies, like the little kids. And we just skate with them for an hour, which is really exciting. And we also did a shooting clinic, which there was a really good turnout of like 60, 70, 80 girls.
Wow.
And the whole high school team and a couple of alumni shot with the younger girls.
Who's the better shooter, you guys or the alumni?
The alumni.
Oh, really? They've got the lasers. That's awesome.
Yeah.
So have you been able to take, obviously you're going to Scott Bukestad later today, right? Have you been able to take any of those things, Madison, that he's been teaching you guys? And then what's interesting is be able to pass this along to the young players, and then therefore that makes you better because you're teaching.
Yeah. I love shooting with him. He's such a good shooting coach, and I learn a lot, like, every time I go there. And I think being able to shoot with the younger girls really helps them a lot, and they obviously look up to us a lot, so I think it's really cool for them, and it's really cool for us because helping teach them how to shoot helps us learn better, too.
It reinforces what you just were taught. So you two are both obviously going to the University of St. Thomas to play collegiate hockey in the WCHA. And that's got to be cool that there'll be some familiarity, that you'll be going into a new locker room, but you'll both be there, and there's probably plenty of other players that you'll be well aware of. But can you take us, Ella, a little bit through whatever you can of the decision that you came to go to the University of St. Thomas?
Yeah, I mean, the coaching staff is awesome, and the campus is just beautiful. So I think we're both really excited to go to St. Thomas, and we're looking forward to it.
Did Anderson Hall sell you?
Yeah.
Was it the lunchroom?
Yeah.
It's pretty amazing.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't think if you don't go in there, you have no idea. The first time you walk in there, it's just like, what is this? It's incredible. But I mean, that's just a microcosm of the entire campus. And, you know, the athletic facilities were MIAC at the time, but they're big league even at the time. And so you're walking into an infrastructure athletically and then academically. You know, the one thing that I've always said, Madison, about St. Thomas, which is so great, if you went there, there are a lot of people within this business community that take care of each other. And I think it's a really cool component. What part or aspects of that played into your decision to go there?
Yeah, the academics are obviously off the charts, and anyone that goes there has a great opportunity academically. And the coaching staff for the women's hockey team is awesome, and the campus is beautiful, so that played a huge part in my decision.
I see that you're a member of the National Academy of Future Physicians and Medical Scientists delegate. Did I say that correctly?
Yeah.
Do you want to be a doctor?
Yeah.
Is there a specific, do you know where you want to practice or go into?
I really like kids, so probably I'm looking into pediatrics right now.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Okay, well, see, look at that. Do you know what you want to do, Ella?
I'm not really sure yet. Maybe nursing, that's a possibility.
Oh,
but
to healthcare. Look at this.
yeah, I don't really know.
All right. Well, you know what? That's what it's all for, is to discover and to figure out what you want to do, then go play some good hockey. Final question for you two. Obviously, you, as a group, your team has had so much success over the years, and you've had targets on you forever. Do you embrace that? Do you like it? And tell me, one of you can take that part of it, and then the other one can take out. Well, you can take this moving forward into the playoffs. What your thoughts are on that? So, do you like being targeted as the best team always?
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of cool to have a target on our back, and I think we definitely embrace it because we just know that each team will bring their best to every game. So I think it's really exciting to come to each game, and we just have to be ready for every game.
It makes you better, doesn't it?
Yeah.
How about the playoffs? What are your thoughts? I mean, they're coming. I mean, you still got some work to do, but you know what the whole thing is about. It's win and stay, lose and go.
Yeah. The playoffs are like a great time in the season, and our team, we've kind of we haven't had everyone playing every game this season. We've had some injuries and some people being sick and stuff. So next week, everyone's going to be back, and we're looking to move forward from there and start playing our best hockey once playoffs hit.
Madison Brown said it right here on Inside the Bubble. The rest of the state, be aware, because here they come. The Huskies are healthy. They're ready to go. So it's going to be a lot of fun, and we enjoy watching all the work that you guys do as players. You've been terrific throughout your high school careers. And, it's one thing to applaud all of the things that you do on the ice. That's the easy part. But it's the things you do in the classroom, the things that you do off the ice that matter as much as on the ice. So making a difference, and that's why you're here. And I want to throw out that website for everyone real quick. I can't see, so these are coming on. SophiesSquad.org. Go ahead and click the donate button. Obviously, that's a great cause that these two are involved with. And one of the things we're doing, we're following up on their Hockey Hits Back mental health awareness night that they recently had at the Andover Arena. And to the two of you, we thank you for taking the time to come join us. And your dad brought some phenomenal donuts and coffee. Don't think I'm not going to be absolutely burying those off camera. Thanks so much.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you. When we come back, we'll have the D. St. Hubert brothers, Cade and Finn, as we're going to talk about Team Tucker. And we welcome you back to Inside the Bubble. We continue with our St. Cloud State Player Spotlight, and this has been a feature that I've been really happy to do. St. Cloud State University reached out to Kare and said, we want to do a feature on players that are making a difference not only on the ice, but off it, in the classroom, off the ice with volunteer work and things like that. And we obviously saw what Ella Boerger and Madison Brown are doing with the Andover Huskies as they are doing Sophie's Squad with some great work with that. And now we bring in brothers D. St. Hubert, obviously Cade and Finn. We've spoken on this before. We had a great podcast last year, and I'm really excited to bring you in on this. And as we go through this, I'm just going to offer this up right now. We are going to have a challenge for each and every team. If you're a leader of a team, if you're a player on a team, a manager, a coach, youth or high school, you can get engaged with this. It might be just $1 where you get a bucket or something and everybody puts a buck in it. Someone may walk around a rink to do it. It could be at a youth tournament, and we'll get into the depth and the details of that. This isn't just reserved to your teams. Or your community. We want the entire hockey community, which is a family, to come together as one to really get engaged with this. So what is Team Tucker? Obviously, Tucker Hellstrom passed away at the age of 9.5. You guys knew him growing up as young guys, and he was a high-energy, love sports kind of kid, and his mom, Dana, created the Team Tucker Foundation. So let's talk a little bit about that, Cade. Obviously, he was in your grade, correct?
He was in Finn's grade.
Oh, he was in your grade.
Yeah.
Do you want to talk about it?
Sure.
Okay, talk a little bit about, I thought he was in yours. Talk a little bit about Tucker, the person and the player that you knew.
Just every time he'd show up, he'd have a smile on his face. He'd want, even though he was going through such a horrible time, he'd, show up and be happy for everyone around him and just wanting to, have fun.
And that kind of, did you feel that, did it make what could be a tense environment relaxed? I mean, and when you're a little kid, everything matters because you want, right? Did he keep everybody upbeat no matter what the situation was then in a game?
Yeah, just having him there, even though we knew he was going through such a horrible time and that he lost his leg, just having him there just made everyone feel better.
And so when he did that, he would be a coach. He'd be on the bench, and you guys he was always there, and you had to love that.
Yeah. Our dad actually invited him to help coach our hockey team a couple weeks after he lost his leg, which helped him out a lot. So he coached that, and then later in the year he coached our baseball team too.
Yeah, that was always a fun. He honestly played baseball with us, even through on a wheelchair. He was throwing the ball around with us and hitting the ball and all that stuff. Yeah.
So you guys are young when this happens, right? You see, you don't even really know what that means. You're not even 10. How did you deal with that?
Honestly, to be honest, it didn't really hit us because, he was still there with us, having fun, lifting us up. And then when we obviously got the news, it hit harder than you would think, losing a friend and someone who's so important in the community. it definitely affected how we felt for a while.
So obviously, you're dealing with that, but then Dana Hellstrom, his mother, puts together the Team Tucker Foundation, and you guys get engaged with it. You're young, so obviously your mom and dad are helping you kind of move this thing along. But you're here. You are now, years later, and you're still involved with it. So, can you kind of take us through the early stages of what it looked like, what your fundraising was about, and maybe before we do that, what does Team Tucker do?
Team Tucker just raises money for kids with illnesses in the hospitals who haven't seen their family or haven't hung out with friends in a while, and it just helps them find happiness even when they're going through such a tough time.
And I think starting it, Dana actually invited us and some of Tucker's closest friends when we were younger, and just with their parents, and just asked if any of us wanted to do bake sales, stuff like that, to raise money. And our first idea was a 3-on-3 tournament in our backyard, to keep the fun memory of Tucker, because we knew he loved to play sports and do that. And from there, it's grown into what we have nowadays.
That's incredible. And, this is something I'm thinking about, a guy that passed away when he was a senior when I was in high school. And there's still what we call the Ever Cup, which is a golf tournament that's still going almost 35 years later. This is something you guys can continue forward, and it's a great way to bring everybody together. And, some of the things that I think that Dana pointed out to me, which I like, is that if you're a family, and you had mentioned in our discussion prior to this that it doesn't have to be a child with a cancer-related illness. It could be anything that way. But it's a great way for if you're having trouble with gas money or food, just to be able to come see your kid because you have to work extra because the expenses are so high. That's what all this does. It's not an over huge thing. This is helping on the little things, which make dealing with things a lot better.
It is really cool. Just we get to meet some of the patients that we've helped and the families, and it's not an overall general impact on a huge community. It's more of individual. So that is really cool, helping out those families.
So what do you guys got going this year?
We're doing the dollar drive again, which is just asking teams to raise money, just find a leader, coach, like you mentioned earlier, and just have them collect as much money as they can throughout their team. And we will collect it in a month or something, about a month, and present it at one of our games, hopefully.
And I know that it started off with just our Hopkins team. Then in a couple years it's expanded, but we just want the whole state, even out-of-state teams this year. Dana's found a way. She does that. But we've got states from Sweden. We got a lot of teams right now that are joining us, and we just want as many teams as we can to help raise money with us.
Well, and I think what's so great is that you guys bring a human element to this, where this isn't just sometimes you see a foundation and you go, okay, well, that's a good cause. But this is very real. These are two young guys, folks, that are out on the street with their teams in the rinks doing this. And so for a dollar drive, if you're a squirt team, there's nothing you couldn't do. Let's say you're a squirt team in Stillwater. You can grab a ice cream bucket and walk through the stands before a game and get $1. If you want to put 5, 10, 20 in there, 100, whatever you got sitting around in your pocket, go for it. And then you put it in an envelope, you get it to you guys, and then you guys have a big time when you put it all together and make an announcement for how that's going to conclude, correct?
Yes.
Okay. Then do you do electronic stuff too, Venmo or anything like that?
I'm not that intelligent, but Finn over there created a Venmo this year for us. So
Dang, I knew something happened there.
He's got it.
So how's that working?
We just have the Venmo. It's titled Decent Dollar Drive. Any amount would help, just donating to that. Any teams can, their total, if they want to just donate the total if they're far away and keep the cash, would work too. Anything like that.
Great. So you've made it easier to get the funds.
Yeah.
And if you're a listener, if you go to
What was it?
It's Decent Dollar Drive. I know we post it on Twitter, Facebook. It'll be all around.
Can you spell the Decent? Is it D-E-S-T?
D-E-S-T, yes.
Okay, D-E-S-T Dollar Drive, and you can get it. You said it's on Twitter.
And Facebook, it should be.
Bing.
Instagram, hopefully.
Simply
in a couple
done.
days.
Bottom line, what we need to do is get everybody doing this in Minnesota. We've got a huge community here, and let's just get it done. And you guys are doing an awesome job, and I can't say enough about that. And folks, these guys are really, really good hockey players, like next level players, and a lot of players will spend a lot of time on their craft and only focus on the craft only. But you guys are focusing on the craft of life as well, and I think that is really what this feature is all about. And I would challenge anybody and everybody that's in life, whether you're a player or not a player, to find something that matters. Because final question for you: what has it given you?
I mean, it's given me a lot. Just the responsibility aspect, the aspect of just leading something and being a part of something. And it gives you a lot of joy at the end of it and a lot of happiness when you raise this total and you meet these families and seeing all these people who you've helped.
How about you?
Pretty much the same thing, just knowing that like it's what Tucker would have wanted if he were still alive. He'd be helping the same people just through his journey. He always wanted to help, and we're just trying to finish that.
The website is playlaughLove.org. That's playlaughLove.org. Guys, thanks for coming in. When we come back, we're going to have our Kare 11 Top 11. Will the Trojans ascend to number 1? We'll find out right after this.
Behind every world-class athlete, there's a team who takes extra care to support them. At Affinity Plus, we take extra care with all your banking goals, from checking accounts to credit cards. Our biggest victory? Helping you win in the ways that matter most. Affinity Plus.
Your college experience begins with your dream. Your time at St. Cloud State will uniquely be your own, but your journey will be guided by our community. Be you. Be bold. Be a Husky.
What if there was a place where everything was hockey?
He can skate. Here comes Steve's in on goal, all alone.
In Minnesota, there is.
Scores! Welcome back to Inside the Bubble, Minnesota High School Hockey's premier highlight show right here on Kare 11 Plus. Before we head up to Warroad to check in with Matt Harrington and Brandon Spratt, sometimes there's performances that happen on the ice that we need to take a little bit more attention and spend some more time with. There was something that happened at the Hopkins Pavilion on Saturday that featured sophomore goaltender Carson Hauger of the Hopkins Royals. He turned aside 69 of 72 shots on goal fired his way by the Wayzata Trojans, kept his club in the game where they fell by a score of 3-0, but it was a thing of beauty. This kid was dialed in, and we're going to take a little bit of an inside look at exactly what he went through and how he delivered for his Hopkins Royals team. So let's take a look right now. We're going to pick it up in the first period as the Trojans are going to work, and they work this one down low, fanned on. Look at the cardio, up, down, stays with it, squares up. Didn't go where he wanted it to, but stayed square up high on the top of the crease and covers for a big save there. Right here, we're going to see him flare the leather. Here's a shot from the top of the circle. One-timer. Oh, my word. As he goes down in the seated position, reaches up and gathers it in. That's another terrific save. Look at this. Ouch! A turnover up high. This turns into a 2-on-0. And there he is. He goes athletic with the pad save. Look at him pop up. He's totally feeling it right there. That's some good stuff. That means you're confident right here. A little bit of the Dominator in him. Down, sprawling, rolling. makes the save and covers it up. Really good stuff for him. He had a .958 save percentage yesterday, and as he makes one more save in 7 games, he has stopped 233 of 258 shots on goal, and there's just another one from him. Special segment here on location from Warroad, Minnesota. It's the Golden Boys, Matt Harrington and Brandon Spratt, as they are somewhere nestled. What hotel room are you in right now?
We are in the 777's hotel.
Motel, room 104.
You've had the continental breakfast.
Haven't quite ventured out yet. It's a little early, but we'll get there eventually.
Now, I understand after you did some news stories and reports on Friday as you arrived, you set up the broadcast from the incredible perch that you did, and you guys had a massive audience yesterday on Kare 11 Plus, which was awesome. That game lived up to all expectations. You're heading off to Winnipeg, Manitoba tonight. You've got the Coyotes on the back end of back-to-backs, against the first place Central Division leading Winnipeg Jets.
Yeah, it should be a fun one. And obviously you mentioned Arizona back-to-back. They've lost 8 in a row, probably going to be 9 tonight, but we'll find out.
You never know. You get to see a lot of Minnesota natives there. That's going to be a lot of fun. Tell us a little bit about that game last night. Environment, energy. Did it live up to what you guys expected?
Yeah, it certainly did. I mean, just 2 teams going back and forth. What was really, really cool, and just the build up to it too, is just how much the town of Warroad sort of embraced a game like this. Both teams really embraced it too. I mean, it's so clear how much respect there is between the coaches. Pat Andrews for Hermantown, Jay Hardwick for Warroad. We saw the coaching staffs, mingling before the game, as you often see. Just a ton of respect, and I think just a great night for Minnesota hockey, high school hockey in general. And the Warriors stand as the last undefeated team, boys or girls, in the entire state, 14-0.
Incredible stuff. And, Matt, you were very clear about the historic meaning of that win for Warroad. First time a Class A team has fell to the Hermantown Hawks in regular season play. And, like I said, the Hawks only lose to AA teams. So that's a pretty big deal for Warroad, too, as well. Even though we know, we've had them ranked number 1 and they earned every bit of that. Obviously, they'll be there again on the Kare 11 top 11. But talk about that significance as well.
Yeah, certainly. I think, 10 years is the last time that Hermantown lost to a Class A team, as you mentioned, in the regular season. And I believe Lauren Nelson of our partner Legacy Hockey said it was 103 games that they had won in a row against a Class A team. Anytime you can put together a win streak like that, it's incredible. And obviously, even the Warroad fans were like, hey, we respect that. It's incredible that they've been able to do that. And obviously, they're very happy that it was their own Warriors that were able to end that streak.
That's a deep dive and some content right there. I mean, wow. Only get that from legacy.hockey and Lauren Nelson. By the way, that is the news source. If there's anything that says Hub next to it, that's not where you go. You go to Lauren Nelson because he, along with ourselves, are the official streaming partner of the Minnesota High School Hockey Coaches Association with Mike McMillan and the boys. So get all of your up-to-date data and information from Lauren at legacy.hockey. Finally, you guys put together a couple of nice pieces that we're going to see on Inside the Bubble next week. Can you talk about that? Give us a little bit of a preview.
Yeah, so we got up here Friday kind of late afternoon, and luckily the Warrior girls team was in town for a game Friday night against Alexandria Cardinals. We had a chance to catch up with their electric top line, Riley Bartz, Talia Hendrickson, and Kate Johnson. We got good interviews with them, got an interview with Coach Dave Izzy Marvin, and some good B-roll. So looking forward to that. They scored plenty of goals for us on Friday night, so we'll be sure to clip those in. And then Saturday, we had a really fun morning as well.
Yeah, we did a story on the Riverbend skate path in Warroad. It's a long stretch of the Warroad River that is used for public skating and hockey, and got to go in a gator by one of the co-owners or maintainers, that is Craig Kennedy. He took us around in his vehicle around the path. Got really good conversation with him to learn more about it, and also talked to a couple kids as well that were on the path. So it's going to be really good when this is put all together.
Boyd Hubert with Kare 11 obviously did a terrific story. Go ahead and search for that on the kare11.com website or on the streaming app, and you can see a little bit more about the origins of it. And this is more of a follow-up piece that you guys put together, some thrill riding for sure, and we'll be watching that. Speaking of thrill riding, we know where you're going to be driving to Winnipeg and then back as the Road Warriors continue, so be safe. We need you here. We need you back in the studio. Thanks for letting me drive today, though. It's been really fun to keep that NASCAR theme alive here.
Yeah, thanks for having us, Wags.
Turn left, baby. All right. Hey, guys, be safe. Thanks for joining us. We're going to come back with more right here on Inside the Bubble with Kare 11 Plus.
They say good things come to those who wait. But greatness, that's a different beast. It doesn't come when it's called. It won't wander up to those who do nothing. You have to bait it with the sweat you leave on the ice. You gotta push through the pain, smile through every ache, and suffer every shift. You gotta chase it, all in the name of the game you love. Because greatness comes to those who take it.
Behind every world-class athlete, there's a team who takes extra care to support them. At Affinity Plus, we take extra care with all your banking goals, from checking accounts to credit cards. Our biggest victory? Helping you win in the ways that matter most. Affinity Plus.
It's time now to take a look at the Kare 11 Top 11. And I will say this, the rankings committee told me last night that they had a painstaking decision to make, or two or three. However, there were not a lot of teams that moved. It was more about who was coming in from what we heard. So we have the top 11s for you to take a look at. So let's start first now with the boys' Kare 11 top 11 in the AA. Chanhassen stays at number 1. There's some argument that could say Wayzata may be the best team, but Chanhassen at the time beat the best team in Minnetonka. Wayzata did beat Minnetonka, but Chanhassen has ripped off 14 in a row. Therefore, they stay in first. The first slot with Wayzata in at number 2. Maple Grove drops a slot to number 3. They're 12-2-1 on the season. You look at Edina, they're really the surging team now at 10-3-1 in as a top 5 team. Cretin-Derham Hall's been a little bit curious as they stay in at 6. Rogers moves up or stays the same at 9-2-3. Benilde St. Margaret's is on the move, 10-4-0 on the season. Andover back in along with White Bear Lake newcomers and Gentry Academy to round out our top 11 in the Class 2A. Now, let's take a look at the Class A. Warroad, the big win over Hermantown. They hold serve now at 14-0. They get the top slot. No change between 1 through 5. Detroit Lakes moves up with another big win on their ledger. East Grand Forks slides up as well as they beat Holy Family Catholic, a very solid Class 2A team. New Ulm up a slot at 11-1-1 as well right now. Fergus Falls is in at 9. The Dragons of Litchfield, Dassel, Cokato drop to 10, and in comes Hibbing Chisholm. I do know the discussion point was really what to do at 11. Would it be Rockridge? Would it be Hibbing Chisholm? A couple other teams were mentioned among the committee, and it comes out to be Hibbing Chisholm in at 11. Over onto the girls in the Class 2A, Gentry Academy back up to number 1 after Minnetonka falls to Edina. And Minnetonka will stay at 2. They stay there because Edina defeated a depleted squad to no fault of Minnetonka's own. When you have 5 top players that are off and they're playing in the World Juniors, yeah, you'll give them the benefit of the doubt, but Edina does move up to number 3. Hill Murray, very impressive. Their only losses on the season to Edina and Minnetonka, so they tuck in at number 4. Andover drops to number 5. Can't remember when they've been anything less than 1 or 2. 3 sometimes this year, but in any other year. Holy Family Catholic drops down a notch there. Maple Grove is in at 7. They stay the same. And then we have Centennial, Spring Lake Park, Moorhead, and Lakeville South all holding serve. Welcome aboard, Benilde St. Margaret's, as they come in at number 11. Over to the Class A, Warroad at 17, 2-1. They stay at 1. The Stars of Holy Angels had a loss to a Class 2A team, but they'll stay. Proctor Hermantown, Simley, South St. Paul, Orono, Mound Westonka, you get it. Everybody holds serve and stays the same in girls Class A. Now let's take a look at our network top 5 games of the week. First, this will be the boys. We got Matamidi and Benilde St. Margaret's tomorrow at 4. Yours truly will be on the call. I'm looking forward to that one. That's on Monday, the 16th. This is now the 3rd time they've tried to play this game with 2 cancellations due to weather. Knock on wood, hopefully we don't have a storm on Monday. Orono will be at Providence Academy, Hillmurray and Stillwater. That could be a preview of the Section 4 AA final or somewhere in and around that. However, Stillwater has kind of hit a bump as they've lost a couple this past week, so we'll see if they can right the ship against the Pioneers on Tuesday night. Obviously, Edina Minnetonka, that is the game for the century. Always fun at Pagel Activity Center Thursday night at 7 p.m. And then Wayzata will be at Roseau to close out the week on Saturday. Those are all on the mnhockey.tv. Be sure to check it out. So many great games there. For the girls, Blake will be at Edina. That's such a legendary matchup from over the years. Looking forward to seeing that one. Gentry Academy and Proctor Hermantown will go at it. That's the number 1 in the AA versus a top team in the Class A, or AA for Gentry Academy. Top team in the Class A in Proctor Hermantown. Hill Murray and Holy Family. That should be a good matchup. Laverne will be at Dodge County, and Woodbury will be at Eastridge in a great crosstown rivalry matchup. We know their first game between the Woodbury Royals and the Eastridge Raptors was something special indeed. Hockey Night in Minnesota returns to Kare 11 as we will have East Grand Forks and Roseau going at it. 6 p.m. Tuesday night on the 17th. Be sure to follow everything on Kare 11 Plus, the streaming apps, and also on YouTube. Be sure to check out the Overtime podcast. Don't forget to follow the show. You can find us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and also 11 other podcast hosting networks. We cover a variety of hockey topics along with other sports as well. And while you're at it, be sure to follow us on social. We've got you covered on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, also YouTube. And don't forget to check out our website where you can subscribe to the Puck Drop newsletter. We have all of the big games, matchups, and contests that you're looking for. What a great show we had here today, and we look forward to seeing you out at the rink as we continue with the mnhockey.tv as the season and the games get more interesting as we go. For Brandon Spratt and Matt Harrington in the Warroad area, for our producer Glenn Gray and our entire team, we wish each and every one of you a great week ahead.